Welcome to the Team Lawson channel. I'm Theresa.
I'm Mike.
And we're millennials and we're making it. On our channel, we discuss all things that meet within the intersection of millennials, marriage, and special needs parenting.
We also want to create a community that's both inclusive and encouraging.
So, today, we're going to focus on special needs parenting. I feel like I'm short today. Today, we're going to focus on special needs parenting. But I feel like anybody with a strong-willed child who's of school age or a social butterfly that is of school age can relate to this. As you have probably seen by the title, our child got kicked out of her class. It wasn't nearly as dramatic, but just for a little bit of backstory. So before the pandemic, because our lives can be measured by before and after and during the pandemic. But before the pandemic, Macy was having a pretty rough semester. She was genuinely acting out in class, and a lot of it may have had to do with the fact that I was on the road a lot. I was back and forth between here and home. I mentioned before that my dad had open heart surgery, so we were taking care of mom and daddy, and so a lot of times it was just Mike and Macy's happiest place is when we're all together.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, it wasn't my fault she was
acting
It wasn't.
Out. It wasn't.
I don't think that I was pausing my mind on that.
If it had been the other way, she would have been acting out this way if Daddy was on the road. Because she did do that when Daddy worked on the road. She would act out when you weren't here, and she was a lot smaller. And so we were seeing some regression in some behaviors, a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling in class. If you don't know, if you've never seen the channel before, our child is on the spectrum for autism. She is mild, high functioning, not sure the lingo that's politically correct, but and she is verbal-ish. They're working to increase her utterances, her novel utterances. There are some scripts that she's taken from songs or therapy or from videos that she's watched that are traditionally used to express needs. But when she's having a novel conversation with you about her day, she wants to show you something. It's normally 1 to 2 words. We're working our way up to 4 or 5, and she's doing really good. So she can talk, but she wasn't. She was doing a lot of screaming. And the screaming kind of revolved around her friends leaving the classroom and going to pull-out therapy. And so she wasn't getting a lot of instruction. She really struggles with sitting down and writing, or sitting down and not being still. She was 6 at the time, so, first grader kind of things. Fast forward to this year. She's in a different class with a different teacher at a different school building, and she blossomed into the social butterfly. So much so that her and her classmates, her crew had to be busted up so they could get some instruction. So they moved her to a class where she could get a bit more attention with a assistant teacher that she has had before in the class. Don't say her name.
I ain't gonna say her name. I was gonna say shout out to the general. The general.
We love her dearly, and she's with a new teacher, and I haven't even met her yet. She was on maternity leave when we did the meet and greet at the beginning of the year. But I'm already sure that I would love her. She's super sweet. We checked on her yesterday. It was her first day, and she did amazingly well. I didn't send you the message that her teacher sent.
Yeah, you did.
No, that was from the general.
Oh, all right.
But her teacher sent a message too.
Okay.
Amazing. She's doing really well. It's like she's always been in that class, and it's hard. She's been in school for how long? 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I feel like it's been over a month. And so,
it is over a month.
Yeah, Mace is all about her people. She does not go to school to learn. I think we said that before. She goes to school to hang out with her friends, and her teachers and her therapist are part of her friend group. At least she feels like that. They are. So, I said this yesterday, and Macy will either be the teacher's pet or the class clown, but she's gonna get all your attention. And that is exactly what she wants. And so the goal is to give her more constructive attention. The way that the classroom is set up in the kids' schedule, there will be times where they'll have, she'll be able to get more hands-on time, which is, I think, what she wants. And she probably needs, but she definitely wants to be like all up underneath the teacher or be able to sit right next to the classmate that she wants to sit next to. So today we're going to talk about dealing with that social butterfly, strong-willed child and how to handle hiccups in the education, because sometimes there are hiccups and we try our best to make sure that our kids are always well behaved, but sometimes they just behave in a way that is well for them. We'll say it we'll say it that way. So, what was your thought process when Macy was genuinely struggling last school year?
Last school year?
Before we all got sent home for the pandemic. She was having that hard time last school year.
I was more of the my child better get her mind right type of
right.
mentality.
That's
the mentality I had. But I like you said, I kind of understood though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just a lot going on at that time. So I mean, I understand. You know what I'm saying? But I did want my child to get her mind right.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of hard to do when getting her mind right will require one-on-one time with both her parents, and one of her parents wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think we both, and her teacher, he was amazing. He was absolutely amazing because, like, when I say Macy was turning over tables, she was turning over tables, y'all. Literally turning over tables in the classroom. And she is a strong-willed child, and do not call my child bad, but because she's not. She's genuinely not. But when she has a desire to communicate, because even though Macy struggles with communication, she has a genuine desire to communicate. She doesn't avoid it. She wants to be able to tell you what she's going through and what she wants, but sometimes she can't. And so that brings a lot of frustration. And unfortunately, she couldn't take out her frustration on me because I was not here. And so she brought it to the classroom. And I felt so bad. My first instinct was to feel just guilty. I felt like a bad parent. I felt like I was raising my child wrong because she was going to school and acting a certain way. And I know that's not the truth. Like, sometimes kids just go through phases. And so one of the things that I learned from that situation was not to be so hard on myself, you know, and so not to be so judgmental towards myself, and not to be so hard on our child, because we did try disciplining her. We tried having we have bath time conversations. We tried having stern bath time conversations. We tried taking away tablet time. We tried, what else did we try? We tried taking away something else. You know, no, we did not try beating our child. Don't put it in the comments below. Beating your children does not cure autism. But like, it really genuinely felt like absolutely nothing was working. And apparently what we needed was a quarantine, because all of us in the house together for months. And there was about a month and a half where I didn't work because I was at home with her.
Ain't get no quarantine.
And so and then Michael's schedule is such that he has 2 to 5 days off within a calendar week. So, like, he's home a lot. I'm home all the time, and so is Macy. And so that really did help her, just to be able to be up under us for a little while. And fast forward to this year, it helped us to be kind of more on top of it, behavior, and her being able to school. You know, I talk about this sometimes. The first couple of years of kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, and sometimes first grade is your child not so much learning things at school, but learning how to school, learning how to sit in the class, sit at circle time and be quiet and listen to the story and raise your hand and answer questions and stand in the line and catch a bubble. We all know what that means. If you're a mom with a kid in pre-K, do you know what that means?
No.
They ask the kids to put a bubble in their mouth so to catch a bubble.
Silence. Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna tell your child be quiet.
Yes, basically. A very polite way to say be quiet.
You did tell me about that before.
Yeah. Macy did it in the car the other day and I thought it was so cute. We told her to be quiet and she said, catch a bubble. And so we do our regular ABA meetings, but we normally have our first meeting in October, but I went ahead and met with her teacher a couple of weeks ago. And so we talked about her social behavior in classroom and ways they were trying to redirect her and her crew from just like hanging out in class, having the best old time. And so it came to a head and they were like, we're going to have to bust them up. And before, honestly and truly, our school is growing. Macy's school is growing every year. This is the biggest that it's been thus far. It started with just 2 classrooms. I think it has like 6 or 7 now. And so they let us know at the very beginning of the school year that there could be some moving around because there were a lot of new students. I think the school size doubled this year. Mm-hmm. I think it did. I don't remember numbers from last year totally, but there were a lot more students and a lot more new babies in all the age groups because right now it's from kindergarten to 2nd grade. And so they're like, hey, we're going to have to move some stuff around. This is the best that we could do for right now with knowing what we know about the kids. But we got when we got the call, I was like, yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Said that though.
What? They need to be busted up.
No, they was gonna bust them up.
Yeah,
I been said that.
Yeah. And it's sad because Macy loves her friends and they love her. I mean, and you want them to have that social interaction, but they also have to learn how to school. Right? They have to learn how to be in a classroom. And part of that is paying attention. Sometimes you got to do some work. Sometimes most of the lower elementary is learning through play, but you need to learn something too while you play. So we're probably going to have to arrange some sort of social distance play date so we can meet with her friends. So if her friend moms are watching this video, call me.
How we going to do that?
What?
I like
Go to the park and wear a mask. The parks are open now. They're in stage 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd be comfortable doing that. But yeah. What is one thing? Oh, another thing that I've learned, don't take it out on the teacher. They're dealing with your child all day having a hard time. Oh, I feel so bad for her teacher last year. When I say she had the sweetest teacher who loved her so much. Oh, he loved that child. And she just did him all kinds of wrong. Mm. She was going through, though. It's one of those things where, like, you're going through and you lash out the people who care about you the most. That's what she was going through, poor baby. And this year, she had a short time with her first teacher, but we were excited about her going to this teacher's class. She got moved, though. And we're excited about where she is now. I can't wait to meet her teacher, though. She seems super sweet. Closing thoughts.
So if your child is lashing out at school, see what's going on. See what's going on in your child's mind before you beat your child. Don't let beating your child be your first option.
I know.
See what's going on. Because a
lot of times kids are going through stuff. Yeah.
So see what's going on. It's, pick their brain a little bit. See what's going on.
And a lot of times you can avoid hurt feelings as a parent if you keep in contact with the kids' teachers. Like, I try to harass my kids' teachers because they do have other children in their class. They're not just my child's personal nanny during the day. But, like, we kind of have a schedule where we meet with a BCBA therapist one week. We'll do that today. And so the next week, I'll send a message to her teacher to get the other side, kind of get the other side of the story. So how's instruction going? And so each week we're finding out about her behavior on a different front. And that way when we get to like October, when we have, or later this month when we have we'll have parent-teacher meeting this month. Mm-hmm. When we get to that, it's not a surprise. It's more like a update on what we've already talked about. Yeah, and I know it's hard. Like, I am in a position where I can take off a day in the week to do all of her appointments and my appointments and check with her therapist. And so we just schedule it when Michael's going to be off as well so that we can both be there. But I know that's not an option for everybody. Some people work that standard Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But video conferencing. I think we have moved to an age where we're more accepting of the video conference. Every school teacher is Zooming now anyway. And so that's another tool that you can use. You can video conference at your desk. And I think your boss might be more apt to be like, hey, if you were like, hey, I got a 20-minute video conference that I need to have with my kid's parent. I don't want to have to go to the school. Can I do it at my desk? You know? I feel like... and that cuts out on commute time and all that stuff. I feel like that would be a good compromise for parents who really, I mean, it's a struggle. You could even do that if you're working at like Chick-fil-A or if you're working at Walmart. You can just take your phone, sit down for a minute, and do your video conference with your teacher's parent. It doesn't have to take a long time. Email is always still good. Some schools have class apps.
Yeah.
If your child's teacher gives you their number, use it. That's all I can tell you. If your child teachers give you their number, use it.
Use it responsibly.
Responsibly. Don't harass the teachers. They already working around the clock after school on the weekends. Don't give them such a hard time. But yeah. Questions, comments, or concerns?
How are we doing together working as a team?
Gosh! I feel like we're doing really good. I appreciate being able to talk to you about absolutely everything. You know, it's nice to be able to feel like I have somebody who I can be vulnerable with. I can express my feelings, and just the expression of my feelings is a great way to take ownership, one, but also to have some sort of healing. You know, it's easier to deal with stuff when you talk about it.
I agree with that. I think the negative, though, just I'm waiting on things to smooth out and get a little better. You know, we ain't doing bad, but, you know, just... man, just in every area and aspect, things could be better. That's what I say.
What you mean?
Like in every area aspect in life, there's always something that could be, you know, better. Like, I ain't gonna lie, 2020 been a rough one. Like, 2020, I think this has been a test year, man. Like,
a test.
And there's been some crazy stuff happening in 2020, not just in our lives, but everybody else's life. So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I'm speaking on. Like, things can get better, you know. Hopefully 2021 be just, man, a whole lot better, man. I'm praying to do. So, yeah.
Babe. Good, bad. You didn't do it good for me.
I did do good for you.
What?
I said I agree with your good. Like, I think that... No, I'm saying, I'm not piggybacking off you. I'm just saying, I'm thinking...
You kind of are.
Well, hey, I'm piggybacking off
okay, so you did bad. I now have to do bad.
Yeah. I agree. The conversation's been good.
I agree. You know, stuff has been crazy.
That's fine. I ain't mad at it.
Thank you so much for watching this video.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go on our Instagram page, which is Team Lawson 225. On Facebook, we are Team Lawson. Don't forget to share us with people who may need to see our page and get information off of it.
We'll see you in the next video.
God bless you.